All right, we got a guest. Matt Young, how are you doing, man?
Good, Mike. Good to see you again.
Good. So, again, put the dough, before we start with our interview, put the dough back and donate. Orange County Gun Owners. Go to ocgunowners.com. Donate as much as you can, $10, $100, whatever you can. This is sponsored by Cargo, Cases and Rugged Gear Outfitters in El Cajon. We got to meet Michael, the owner of Cargo, last week. Now go reward him for supporting our show and being such a great Second Amendment guy by buying some cool stuff. You can check him out online by going to cargostores.com, or you can go to 423 Broadway, El Cajon, and either way, website, in person, if you mention GOR, Gun Owners Radio, you get 10% off. So go check them out. They sell all kinds of really cool stuff. I'm already a customer. Alicia's already a customer.
That's it.
We've already started to drain our wallets because he sells such good stuff. So Matt from County Arms, how you doing, man?
Good, great.
Yeah, it's been a long time since unfortunately, sadly, I think the last time you and I saw each other was at the closing celebration, I say, of Gunfighter Tactical.
I was trying to remember if it was then or it was we ran into each other at up at Rainbow Oaks at one point. I was eating there. Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
So it was either or, one of the
spaghetti?
two. But sadly, yes, the gunfighter thing. Yeah.
I wasn't having spaghetti, but you know what they sell at Rainbow Oaks at that diner? They sell Newski's bacon. It's like the only place in town where they sell Newski's bacon. So that's right. We did run into it. That was a happier
occasion. Yeah.
Occasion. So talk about what's your connection with Gunfighter Tactical. It was I got to tell you, one of my favorite shops. I love those guys.
How did that even start? So they're in Miramar. You know, in California, it's tough to find a really good gun store, obviously.
Yeah.
And as I just kept one-upping across, I worked at Qualcomm, and they're nearby. Gunfighter, and I wandered in there, and once I saw their signs, and they're like, they just put it on their chest as far as how they went about things.
Yeah, they weren't shy.
They weren't shy, no.
By giving their opinions.
Their opinions, yeah. Law enforcement and regular citizens should all have the same rights and so forth. And the more I got to know them, the more I loved them. And then they kind of took me in, and over the years, we kind of became family. And yeah, that's how I would work, cool. Do stuff there at the shop, do as many favors as I could for them, go to the gun prom, go to all the activities. So really got involved with them. We still all are very much connected and hang out together all the time.
Those guys are the best. And now you own and operate County Arms, which actually it's a couple different pieces. There's a couple different businesses.
Yeah.
That you run. Talk about those. What are the three first?
So, County Industries, which is the parent company, the County Laser, which is cleaning lasers and everything non-firearms related, and County Arms, which is all the firearms stuff. And how we got here, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We started out, I moved to Temecula, and I have a longtime friend and now business partner, Mike Milano, who's in Temecula right now on our video feed there. And he wanted to start this. We were always programmers, coders, and we wanted to get more involved in actually making things, doing things with our hands, and investing in companies. So we started a cleaning laser company, which was very niche.
Cleaning laser company?
Yeah.
Does that mean you used a laser to clean things, or you cleaned people's lasers?
We get that all the time. So yeah.
Like, what if I had like dolphins with lasers attached to them? Would you clean those lasers for me, or? I guess there were sharks with lasers on their heads.
Yeah, you just totally took me on a right angle there, because there are dolphins with lasers. The seals have them.
Oh, that's awesome.
You didn't know that, right?
No.
Oh, yeah. We'll get back to that.
Yeah. Rich, let's get some dolphins with lasers on their head for our guest next week.
They're in Point Loma, and they're on the East Coast. So I was challenged on that years ago. Sorry to sidetrack here, but you really got me. I almost went back into the military to get involved in that program.
It sounds cool.
Yeah. Anyway, and then Iraq happened, so the second time. Okay, back to
lasers.
Lasers.
Your lasers clean things, or
okay. So their biggest favorite food, these lasers, is rust. So if you have anything like automotive, anything that's rusting, that's one of their main purposes, to take that away and basically leave the metal behind or the object behind and get rid of the contaminant, so to speak.
Interesting.
It's a frequency that hits it, and then it doesn't damage what's underneath. So instead of sandblasting or doing other types of media as far as removal, the laser takes care of all that without as much damage and without as much particulates going into the air.
Interesting. So how did that turn into guns? So were you using that on people's guns, or how did that turn into guns?
So we started out with a mobile laser system where we had an ambulance van. Mike actually went out and got a real ambulance van with lights and sirens and everything. Pretty cool. And then it was easier to do it mobile, but that's quite expensive to move around. So we ended up getting a shop, and then Gunfighter, sadly, closed down at about that time. Yeah. And they said, "Hey, Matt, would you like to acquire all of our shop, and continue on?" And they knew how much I have an addiction for that stuff. So I did. We moved it up to Temecula. We put it in our shop. And the reason why it was so attractive to us at the time was the paint booth that Gunfighter uses. Yeah. We could use it as dual purpose. So we were able to use that as our laser cleaning booth.
Oh, wow.
And then that has all of the right filters and things going up into the ceiling and doing all the right things by all the rules,
How interesting. And you work with Mike, too. Mike, is Mike on the line? Can he hear us? Mike, you can hear us, bud? No. Okay.
He can.
Let's see.
Hey, Mike, can you hear us okay?
Can you guys hear me? I can hear you. Yeah.
Good. Okay, so welcome to the show.
Thanks.
There's kind of an echo, though. Well, why don't you tell us a little bit about what so you're both engineers, both you guys.
Yeah.
There's some kind of special relationship between engineers and guns. What is it? Like every engineer out there,
the mechanics
is a gun nut. You think that's what it is?
The mechanics and where you can take it. My dad was an electrical, chemical, mechanical engineer. Like and he's the one who really got my family involved with guns. So we used to rebuild black powder rifles, shotguns, and then auction them off.
So it's just another machine that you guys can play with and work on. And
yeah, and to me, like the further I got into firearms, the more I loved long range, because that added that extra aspect of taking that mechanical aspect further. So instead of golf, which is what do they say, a long walk ruined?
Yeah, by a small ball, yeah.
Yeah, this is much more fun to me as far as making sure that bullet can land way the heck over there.
Engineering your way to a bullseye.
That's right.
That's awesome, man. That's very cool. And you do Cerakote and then engraving.
Yes.
And then like rust prevention or rust?
Yes.
Not prevention. Rust
solution
removal. Okay.
Restoration. So the whole idea with it was that we wanted to see how many cross pollinations we could get, really. So if you use laser cleaning for firearms per se, you might want a more precise removal of something.
Yeah.
Really, they're just high end laser engravers, really like powerful or tunable laser engravers. So if like a fiber laser, which you use for metal, or a CO2 laser you use for organics, this is a fiber laser type technology, just taken to the nth degree.
So if I take a gun out of my case, and there's a dime sized rust mark on it, take it to you guys, and you guys can help.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Okay, and you guys laser it, and then you're right back. Do you have to like re-blue it, or no? It doesn't.
Well, if you're after a blued gun, then yeah, you would probably have to re-blue it. Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Or whatever kind of coating you have. So we're trying to do both. We're trying to laser clean, laser engrave, restore. It can work with wood. We're experimenting with varnish. Our countylaser.com site has like a lot of the fields that's in.
Gotcha.
But basically coatings
Yeah.
and cleanings. Right,
Gotcha.
So you've got both. So you can do sandblasting, or you could do, which is traditionally what we used for Cerakoting before. So
and decorate.
And decorate, yeah, and customize.
What kind of cool stuff have you done to customize?
We just did, Batman.
I've
Eric
heard of
Rumbin.
him.
Yeah.
Oh wait, who?
Eric Rumbin. That's is one of my best friends in the Gunfighter family.
Yeah. His name, he goes by Batman.
Batman, yeah, because he has all the cool gear.
That's terribly arrogant.
Yeah, it is. On your show, Fredo.
I like him already.
Yeah, he's great. Fredo made him a
I love Fredo to death. That guy's the best guy in the world.
So that was the last mention of him. But basically, Eric came and he's like, hey, it's Marine Corps birthday's coming up today. And I didn't put two and two together as far as like I wanted to bring this on the show. So we went ahead and took a Prodigy, which is a 2011 basically, made by Springfield. And we we engraved Eagle Lovenacre on the grips. And then we put a beautiful pattern on the top. So something like that,
Cool. The Marine Corps globe with the anchor and the eagle.
And inside is a handgun that I'm not gonna show.
Yeah.
So or knives. I brought a Cerakote sample in here to show like here's a Harbor Freight knife and here's a Cerakoted one.
I got to tell you, that stuff is really cool. Lee, back when they were open, helped me. I went in. So a buddy of mine retired from the Army. He and I went to high school together. We graduated. And about 2 years after high school, I'm, screwing around and kind of going to college. And he says, I'm going to enlist and go in the Army. I said, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing?
Yes.
Like, move out to California. Let's,
Yes.
I said, no, I'm going to the Army. I'm like, you're going to regret it. Well, he had an awesome career. And he did his 20 years and worked his way from E1 up to, he retired as an O4. Got a couple of degrees and combat vet, beautiful family, the whole thing. I mean, just had a fantastic life for those 20 years. So I went into Lee and I said, hey, he was not a gun owner. He kind of, it's interesting. I don't know if you've experienced this, but a lot of cops and military folks, it's a tool. You know what I mean? There's a lot of them that aren't. You'd think that they're all gun nuts.
Absolutely.
Nope.
But they're not.
No, they're not.
So he was one of those guys, not a gun nut. And I was like, I'm going to get him a Glock 19. And we engraved the Army insignia on it. We engraved the dates that he enlisted and the dates that he retired. We engraved, a private, what is it, a stripe or a chevron or whatever?
Private's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the leaf for a major.
Like an oak leaf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I forget what else we put on there. And then I think he gave it like a blue hue, and then we put a gold-colored barrel in it, to kind of make it even more Army looking.
Yeah.
And I told Lee, I said, hey, I want you to put in the U.S. Army. And he goes, that's like what they use on the cheesy commercials. He said, let's use the actual insignia with the cannon and stuff,
Yeah.
That thing turned out so beautiful. The things you can do with engraving and a little bit of, And the cool thing is he uses it. It doesn't make it into a toy.
Right.
It's still functional. He still uses it.
Yeah.
But it's amazing what you guys can do with the engraving and the laser engraving and everything. It's so amazing. It's so amazing, so precise.
Yeah, and we have all that, and CO2 lasers, which we always missed at Gunfighter. So now we have a huge one. It's at the shop.
What's
gigantic.
the CO2 laser? What's that?
It's basically a tube, and it's filled with this gas. And if you look at the tube and the gas in the back, it's almost like a Star Trek weapon. You'll see this huge, like red, pink laser going through it. It's really amazing. So I don't know if everybody can see, but on behind Mike, there's a blue, gigantic coffin-like object, and that is a CO2 laser. So it will do everything really but metal. So projects like at Gunfighter that we wanted to burn into the back of like a stock, like a wood stock.
Yeah.
We always had to kind of like send that out or find somebody to do it or do it in a different way.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things that I had myself, that I would do stuff on the side for Gunfighter. And then joining that to the fiber laser, which is all the magic that you just talked about, which did your friend's gun.
Yeah.
And then we're doing optic cuts and serrations and working on that process. So putting red dots and that kind of thing on top.
Now, what did you do to this knife over here that Alicia is?
So that is a cheap Harbor Freight knife that was probably $6 or $7, and we took it and Cerakote black multicam to the top, which is, I probably should have done a brighter like multicam arid, but it's just to show that you can take something that's just kind of silly. And
there it is. This is what it used to look like.
Yeah. So we're thinking of just getting like 20 of those and coloring them up.
Nice.
And where I got that from was at Gunfighter. We used to paint up.
This is such a Rambo.
It is. It's ridiculous. And they actually had one, and that's what gave me the idea of doing it, because people would come into Gunfighter all the time, I guess, and try and buy the multicam or original one of these.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to sell it because it was a good example. So we're thinking of hanging it up and showing all the patterns.
Does it have the hollow stock?
It does.
Put
and it has the silly little survival thing with 5 matches and some fish line.
Do you remember that back in the
Oh.
80s?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. They had that thing on. It was like every commercial was that knife. And I don't know, I was like 8 or 10. Oh, I was obsessed. I had to have that knife. I bought like 5 of them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was just absolutely had to have that knife. Years later, decades later.
Good thing it's not an emergency right now. I can't get the damn stuff out.
So on that, I'm gonna make an absolute promise because I meant to do it for this one, especially since the 2011. This went to his dad, the one that we just did.
Oh, cool.
So it was for the Marine Corps birthday because his dad was a U-2 pilot.
Oh, wow.
A Marine U-2 pilot, and he's super tall.
Wait,
Anyway,
a U-2 pilot?
yeah, he was a U-2 pilot
For the Marine Corps? I
Yes.
don't think I knew that they had. Did they?
Neither did I.
Yeah, that's interesting. All right.
Very interesting, and he did a lifetime career there, and now he lives in Texas. So Eric and Julian are now there visiting their dad and giving him this 2011 for the Marine Corps birthday, which today is 249 years.
Yeah.
And
Happy birthday, Marine Corps.
Happy hoorah! And then what I wanted to get you guys was the K-bar. So I have a K-bar I was going to work up, and they're actually a lot harder to take apart and Cerakote than I thought. So I'm going to make a promise by next year, before the Marine Corps birthday the next year, I'm going to put gun owners radio on it engraved
cool.
and give it to you guys, and
that'd be cool.
Some nice stuff on that K-bar.
That's awesome. Yeah, next year will be 250.
250. That's what I was thinking. It might be 250.
Yeah.
250.
So did you get are you setting a fire or fishing? No.
By the aid of the big pen, I absolutely cut it out.
Yeah,
in Girl Scouts, we made one out of a film canister.
Yeah.
Girls didn't get knives.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, that's not right.
Yeah, I remember I found that survival knife at a gun show in Arizona decades later. I was like, oh my God, this is it. Because mine was long lost and fell apart or whatever. But oh man, that thing was so important.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was such an important thing in my life. That's cool. So, Mike, can you still hear us?
Yep, I can hear you. I think
Okay,
I've
cool.
got, there's still
Good.
an echo, is there?
No echo. That's perfect. So, what's it like, man? Tell us about the new business. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's been a journey. I'm getting an echo, so it's a little bit hard to talk.
Oh, you sound perfect on our side. Just tell us your favorite thing about working for County Arms and the work that you guys do.
At first when it was laser cleaning, it was a lot more boring. But Cerakote has been that's been awesome. Lee has been coming up, helping us, kind of showing us the ropes, and that's been a pretty incredible creative outlet. Just everything that goes into it, and there's lots of learning on my end. Matt has more experience with this, but yeah, we both were interested in doing this, so we just did it, and it was a bunch of little steps. It's not just one big step to become an FFL. It's been a journey of just like every little legal certificate that we have to get between the city to state to federal. It's been a lot, but we got there.
Yeah, it's really tough. I got to tell you, I've said that a number of times, that it's extremely difficult to be a business owner in California. And if that business has anything to do with guns, it's 10 times as bad.
Yeah.
It's really difficult.
Yeah, I think being a laser company kind of helped us in a sense, as far as our occupancy and everything else, and not coming in straight as just a firearms manufacturer. It helped us kind of get everything started, and then it was a little bit easier to add the FFL stuff than it would have been. Whereas, we may not have gotten it if we're going straight
the other way around. So you guys have your FFL. Talk about that. You don't sell. Do you carry guns and sell them?
We can.
But do you typically or?
No, we can, but we're focused on customization.
Yeah.
Customization right now. So we don't have a showroom. But yeah, Matt can speak to that. We're mainly focused on one-off projects or not just full-on retail sales.
Nice. You get the FFL so because you got to hold on to the gun for a while.
Yeah, so the FFL 07, which is what we are, that's how we started, was as a manufacturer, and that's through the advice of like Ryan Peterson, and what we told them what we want to do. They came back with, you should be this. So that one is kind of top level, gives us more rights, kind of as far as I see it. And then in California, it's kind of odd because normally you'd have like an FFL 01 or like an 03.
Right.
And so with California, you get on these lists, and one of them is, what Gunfighter became later, which was a kerfluffle. That's a word.
Is that the legal term?
The technical term.
It's like a CFA.
You can be an FFL kerfuffle.
A kerfluffle. It is a kerfluffle. That's right. It was somewhere between being a dealer and a manufacturer, but they were restricted, but they didn't have to deal with a retail. So that was kind of a mid-grade one. So we went ahead and got the CDL, There's all kinds of reasons. We were talking about magazines earlier, like that enabled us to get the large capacity magazine permit so that we could customize magazines. That's a whole odd world right there.
Standard capacity.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry that I used those words. But that, like, so we have rights to sell outside of the state. It's actually much easier to sell outside of the state than it is in the state. So, and because we're so in love with customization, making art, that kind of thing, that's really what we're after. Kind of continuing on the Gunfighter way.
Well, if I'm let's actually
Yeah, go ahead.
If I'm a gun owner and I happen to be one, and you kind of have the typical, you got a tactical shotgun, you might have a sporting clay shotgun. You're going to have some form of AR. You're going to have some kind of pistol, probably a Glock or maybe something else, right? But that's kind of your typical. If you're a gun owner in San Diego, that's pretty much your lineup right there.
Yeah.
What are some real common things that people have done?
Well, porting, porting the barrel, porting the slide. You usually get serrations. Most people are after, when we're just talking about Glocks, the standard Glock, they really want a Gen 5, right? Which is available to everybody outside of the state.
For now.
Yes, right. And so what they'll do is they'll take a Gen 3 and they'll turn it into a Gen 5. They'll say, cut off the fingers, grooves, put serrations on the front, give me an optic cut. All these things are included outside the state, right? Yeah. And that is some of the more common things. For shotguns, it's all over the board. Like take it apart, make this old 870 into this, renew it, make it brown, add some different features to it. Let's see, for ARs, typically anything to do with an AR pistol, a single shot exemption type situation. The same stuff Gunfighter would do. Those are really common there. They would customize the paint job. They'll customize the engraving. We have access to all the different items that you might want to upgrade your weapon with. So that's good in our customization.
Okay, and then if they bring it to you, or how do they call you? What's the process?
Okay,
you prefer?
Several ways. So yeah, that is the preferred way, is if they bring it to us, right? So they
make
have
an appointment first.
Yeah, that'd be even better,
Okay.
or even let us know what you want. But then you bring it in, and then this is one way to go about it. And then tell us what you want, or talk to us about it. What do you want? We'll help you with that. And then we customize that. Then the other way is like, you don't have a Glock yet. You're going to get a Glock, but you want all these customizations done. Legally in California only, we can't customize the weapon until after the DROS period.
Yeah.
So what's funny and interesting about the whole thing is to show demo models, right? Like Gunfighter used to do in the case. You'd see this beautiful multicam arid customized weapon, and you say, I want that. And you go, well, I can't sell you that one, but I can sell you one just like it after the DROS period.
Right. You buy it plain, stock.
Yeah.
And then you go through the 10-day.
Yeah.
And then you say, all right, now I want the customization.
Yeah. And then at that point, you can have that whole package for a certain price that's already predetermined. We can also do things like, if you come in, same thing, and say, I want that gun at this price. And then we get that, and then we customize it for you. So you can either own it before or get it from us,
right.
and we'll just go through the normal process. Outside of the state, we can customize the heck out of it and sell it. Oh, wow. So it's kind of a funny world there.
Okay. All right. Well, cool, man. Well, what is the best way to get a hold of you? Is the website.
That's right.
So what is the website?
Presently, we have countylaser.com and we have countyarms.com. And then we're over the grams and the what's the other Mike's good TikTok.
So social media has been tough because we're kind of getting suspended on anything we post. If we post pictures of guns, or I've tried to set an ad, I tried to create an ad, and they think you're trying to sell the gun instead of advertising Cerakote. So we kind of get suppressed. So on Instagram and TikTok, whatever, I think we're only featured to anybody who's already subscribed. But on Instagram, you can see our work it's county.arms on Instagram.
Perfect. Well, thank you, gentlemen. This is a very interesting interview, and you're going to stick around and we're going to talk about all kinds of other stuff. But give your website one more time.
Countyarms.com and countylaser.com.
Actually, if it's okay, we actually have a few questions in the chat. Can we throw them out there?
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Love it.
Right,
sure.
Quick. First, just a thank a super chat from Mike. for his donation.
Mike's the best. Thank you, Mike.
All right, so a couple questions we have. All right, so first of all, we have somebody asking if you can laser. Oh, there's so much. The chat's been so active. Give me a moment to catch up to where it was.
Cool.
People are excited and talking. Let's see. Can you polish using laser a stainless steel gun?
Ooh. Well, I hate to say this, but possibly. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, we've actually been hired to clean stainless, and the problem is we have to use such low settings just to keep the basically. I don't think so, because it'll mark before it'll do anything else. So no, I would say no.
Gotcha. Let's see.
What else we got?
Someone's inquiring as to the cost of the lasering machines, the expense involved, and what does that look like?
Yeah, Matt, your competition wants to know how much they got to spend to put you out of business.
Really, it's just like laser time and labor. So we're still arguing over or discussing pricing, but $90 to $100 an hour.
Oh wait, are they asking how much to do it, or how much did they spend buying the machines to do it?
Oh yeah.
The question appears to me is to purchase the equipment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So do you mean the cleaning? Can I ask them back? Do you mean the cleaning lasers or the engraving?
What are the costs of the cleaning lasers?
They're like anywhere from 25 to 50. I mean,
and how much is the engraving?
The engraving lasers are like 5 to 25 grand.
Wow!
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Yeah.
All right, cool. What else we got? Any other questions?
And that's a deal, by the way. The 25 was still the one at gun. Well, I won't.
So it's not something you buy and put it in your garage casually. This is a career decision if you're going to
not a hobby.
These things.
You're not saving any money by lasering your own.
At least in my tax bracket.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there are cheap ones you could get away with, but you're talking still about $1,000 to $2,000 for a 20 watt, which is a lower grade. But that's yeah.
Lasers. All right.
What
else?
That's actually it for questions. The rest was just the conversation. People are just conversing and
perfect. Well,
discussion.
Thank you so much. Give your website one more time.
CountyLaser.com and CountyArms.com.
Great. Thank you guys both. Hey, it's Michael Schwartz from Gun Owners Radio. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Watch us every Sunday from 5 to 7. Go to gunownersradio.com for more information. Check us out on any podcast provider.